What's up, amigos? I've been thinking, what if one day this brilliant genius is our president? Well, let's take a look at the AOC's most intellectual moment in this ultimate mashup. Let us start with the best speech ever of AOC. I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but let's do it.
We are about to enter a political period that will have
Oh man, this is the best speech I've ever heard from her, or I've never heard from her. It's so good. And then that one that everybody knows. Everybody have heard this one. Let's do it.
Should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is of course a very long-standing policy of the United States.
Oh my God. Imagine this person's actually want to be a president one day. Can you imagine? Let us continue because people would applaud her no matter what she says. Look at this one.
Venezuela, for example.
Venezuela.
It is not a. It is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because
the whole world puts a bounty on him.
Below the equator.
So even though everything else was really stupid, but you may agree with her opinion, Venezuela is indeed not below the equator.
But people still clap their hands. She could have said it, Venezuela's in Europe, and they would still clap their hands. She could say whatever. She can say whatever she wants to say. The libtards, they will still clap their hands because they're not listening. They're robotic. They're robotic and a bunch of robots. They just hear, oh, now is the moment to clap. They would just clap. It reminds me of those old movies where they had a button where people laugh. It's a laughing moment. Press the button, and then they go, ah, even though she's saying nonsense. Look at that. Look at this one. This one, I'm thinking, this is a really good one too.
You are starting to see the ascent of the right, even in places like Munich. Marco Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I thought they came from Winnetou, but I
believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples.
Yeah, but they did come from Spain because, we didn't have horses in America anymore because they were extinct. So the Spaniards, they went to Mexico, and from Mexico, they came to America. There were no horses in Mexico nor in America at that time. So they win by being stupid. The libtards, as I've noticed, as more retarded you are, more famous you get. It's like that very wise guy once said that the world will be conquered by the fool, not by the merits, but the quantity. They are too many. And this is becoming a reality in America. And then to end, look at this interview.
I didn't think that I was just going to be killed. I thought other things were going to happen to me as well.
So what sounds like what you're telling me right now is that you didn't only think that you were going to die, you thought you were going to be raped.
Yeah. I thought I was.
And that you now...
Guys, she wasn't in the Capitol building. She's talking about the Capitol building, but she wasn't there.
You were going to die. You thought you were going to be raped.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I was.
Look at this face. She wasn't. She was in her office, all the way on the other side. So she never thought of that. But she knows that the libtards, they want liars. They want them to say, somebody to say what they want to hear. And the point here, it's very, how can I say, I'm worried. Why am I worried? Because it is funny if it wasn't tragic. Because while we laugh here, we have a good time, the reality is that these ideas are actually gaining ground. For example, if you heard what happened yesterday in New York? New York elected socialist leadership. The socialists, I showed you last video where 66% of Democrats, they are for socialism. 66%. So as we joke about these pathetic human beings, we come to a very serious situation. And the situation is that people, they like this kind of things. New York is completely destroyed. They elected, or to the primaries, three socialists. And some people, I've talked to some people, and these people, they are like, I'm shocked, I'm surprised. But how can you be shocked? How can you be surprised if we showed you that 66% of Democrats, they like socialism? They don't know what socialism is. I know they don't. I mean, the politicians, they know, and they prey on these young people, libtards, who they have this idea of a perfect world of socialism, which doesn't exist anywhere in the world. There is no place in the world where socialism worked. And we can use an example of the Germany. Germany was divided in two, the socialist side and the our side, right? The capitalism side. And what we saw it at first, everyone from the socialist side flew away, ran away from the socialist side to the capitalist side. And then what they decide? The socialist side, they decide to build the wall, not to stop people from the capitalism going to their country, but on the contrary, they build a wall so the socialists couldn't escape. It's what happened in Cuba. Nobody swims from Miami to Cuba. Nobody is getting to small boats and flee to Cuba. Everybody from Cuba is fleeing to America. So that's the obvious thing. But in New York, one of the greatest city in the world, at least once it was, now they vote for a crazy guy as a mayor. And now we have three people that won the primaries who are socialist. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So may God bless America. The fight is just beginning.